Epicurean wisdom for a stressful world. In a world that often feels like a high-speed treadmill, constantly demanding more productivity, more connections, and more success, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, burnt out, and frankly, a little lost. We chase elusive goals, spurred on by endless notifications and the siren call of societal expectations. But what if the secret to genuine peace and a life well lived wasn't about adding more to your plate, but intelligently subtracting? Enter the timeless yet surprisingly radical philosophy of Epicurus, not as the party animal history sometimes misrepresents him, but as the original minimalist sage. Epicureanism, at its core, is a deeply comforting and practical guide to finding ataraxia, a state of serene, untroubled absence of fear, and aponia, the absence of physical pain. For Epicurus, the ultimate good is pleasure, but here's the crucial twist. He didn't mean fleeting sensory indulgences. He meant the tranquil pleasure that comes from the lack of distress. Think of it less as a feast and more as a deep, satisfying exhale. Reclaiming the garden, the three pillars of tranquility. Epicurus taught that the path to this tranquil state is paved with a few simple, intentional choices. In our modern complex lives, these choices become revolutionary acts. 1. The art of the minimal desire, the anti-consumerist core. Epicurus categorized desires into three groups. The key to freedom, he argued, is to focus solely on the first and wisely manage the second. Natural and necessary desires. These are things like food, shelter, and friendship. They are easy to satisfy, and once met, bring complete contentment. Natural but unnecessary desires. These are variations on the necessary. Fine dining instead of simple food. A mansion instead of adequate shelter. They don't alleviate distress any further than the necessities do, but they do introduce dependency and anxiety, fear of losing them. Vain and empty desires. These are rooted entirely in societal opinion and fleeting trends. Fame, power, luxury goods, or the constant need for validation. These desires are inherently insatiable and lead to perpetual agitation and stress. The modern application. In a stressful world, this means questioning every commercial impulse. Do I need the latest gadget, or will my current one suffice? Is the stress of chasing a huge promotion worth the sacrifice of my peaceful evenings? The Epicurean realization is that the stress and effort required to acquire unnecessary things often far outweigh the minimal pleasure they provide. True luxury is the freedom from needing them. 2. The supreme value of phronesis, practical wisdom. For Epicurus, it is not luck, but phronesis, or practical wisdom, that is the most valuable possession. This wisdom is the ability to correctly judge which choices will lead to the greatest long-term tranquility and which will lead to agitation. This is where we learn to handle life's biggest stress creators. Fear of death. Epicurus famously declared, "Death, therefore, the most awful of evils, is nothing to us, seeing that when we are, death is not come, and when death is come, we are not." Stress often comes from existential anxiety. The Epicurean perspective eliminates this stress entirely by reminding us that our existence and death cannot overlap. When we are alive, death is irrelevant, and when we are dead, we cease to exist, and therefore cannot suffer. Fear of the gods, or fate. He saw fate and supernatural interference as sources of unpredictable stress. By understanding the world through rational, materialist lenses, what we would now call basic science, he removed the fear of arbitrary punishment, empowering individuals to take control of their own happiness. The modern application. Use reason to dismantle your current anxieties. Are you stressed about a potential outcome at work that has a 5% chance of happening? Phronesis tells you to focus on the 95% you can control and discard the fear of the unlikely 5%. Practical wisdom is the shield that protects tranquility from overthinking. 3. The sacred sanctuary of friendship. The most essential ingredient for ataraxia that money cannot buy and ambition cannot earn is philia, genuine, deep friendship. Epicurus didn't just advocate for friends, he advocated for living with them in small, supportive communities, like his famous garden. In a stressful world dominated by networking and transactional relationships, Epicurean friendship stands out. It's a refuge from the polis. Friends provide a sanctuary from the competitive, stressful, and often dishonest public sphere, the polis. It's where you are loved for who you are, not what you achieve. It's a mutual aid society. True friends reduce the stress of life setbacks because they are a reliable source of support, a practical guarantee of basic necessities, and a stable comfort when all else shifts. Of all the means which wisdom acquires to ensure happiness throughout the whole of life, by far the most important is the possession of friends. The modern application. Prioritize quality over quantity. Turn off social media and invest the time you save into a few profound, non-transactional friendships. Host a simple shared meal with people you trust. The security and comfort of belonging are the greatest stress relievers available to us. The lasting legacy. A life of intentional inconspicuousness. Epicureanism isn't about escaping the world, but engaging with it on your own terms. It's a gentle, subversive philosophy for the modern age. Choose a simple life, not out of deprivation, but because it's the fastest route to peace. Avoid the public rat race, not because you are afraid, but because true dignity comes from self-sufficiency and the absence of anxiety. In our stressful world, embracing this ancient wisdom allows us to redefine success. Success is not the size of your bank account or the number of followers you have. Success is a quiet Tuesday afternoon where you feel neither physical pain nor mental distress. If this deep dive into finding tranquility resonated with you, imagine the transformative insights we could uncover next. Don't keep this wisdom to yourself. Hit the like button to help share this philosophy. Drop a comment below and tell us which of Epicurus's 3 pillars you plan to focus on this week. And, of course, subscribe to the channel to join our growing community dedicated to living a thoughtful, less stressed life. Your journey to ataraxia is just beginning.